What's going on, guys? It's Snoov603 from Shustybang, and we are 12 days away from the official release of Battlefield 4. And today I wanted to talk about my overall views on the beta review of Battlefield 4. And I know that FakeThriller discussed his. I was not around for that yesterday. I was actually deathly sick, lying on the couch rolling around in pain, but that is neither here nor there. Just remember, do not take an excess of Excedrin on an empty stomach. That is a pro-life tip for you guys. Don't do it. So, overall, I was impressed with the game itself and the beta. Yeah, there were plenty of issues. The thing froze a lot. But, you know, from what I've read, they've already made a bunch of improvements on the final build. And that was actually done before the beta was finished, but they didn't have time to update the beta before releasing it, so we will see it all there. But reading a bunch of stuff on places like Reddit, some of the Battlelog developers and the game developers are in there. They were kind of giving updates as people were asking questions, and they were just making responses to those specific questions. And they did mention that, yes, they have made a lot of improvements, and everything will be there for the official release of the game, which is really, really reassuring to know, and actually I have high hopes for this game as it comes out. Some of the main things I noticed that have changed from Battlefield 3 are just some of the things that really kind of stuck out to me as like, oh, that's a little bit different. One of the things was the gun gameplay, and I still haven't really decided how I feel about it, but man, I'm struggling. I will not deny that. I struggled something fierce. I could not put shots onto people. It's not that it's really hard, it's just changed a lot from Battlefield 3, where the recoil is a lot more severe. Everything's a lot less forgiving. You need to apply a lot more finesse to kind of make things work the way you really want them to. One of the other things I noticed, man, dude, I cannot see anyone. I had my, my brightness setting set at about 50%, and I couldn't see anyone. And I was getting dropped from across the map, and I'm sitting there like, dude, how'd that guy see me? Because I sure as hell didn't see him, and I was even looking over there. And there are plenty of times where I get shot from the side. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't see him in my peripheral, but whatever. But, you know, just getting shot straight in the face from a guy other side of the map that I'm looking right at, and I just can't see him. I had to turn my brightness settings up to 70%, which kind of sucks because it really washes out some of the colors and kind of takes away from the detail of how the game looks. But it's the only way I could see these people. And as soon as I did that, I was able to start seeing a lot more of what was going on. I started doing a lot better. But it's just kind of one of the things I noticed I want to bring up. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the change in the reload mechanics. How if you went to go reload and you still had some ammo in there, you would lose it, which I believe is still there. All of a sudden, now I'm having doubts as I talk about this. But the other thing was, as you're reloading and you cancel it, say to pull up your secondary to shoot, and this is something that has been known by most people, but in case you didn't know it, when you go back to resume your reload, it takes off from where you left off. So especially in RPG, that was awesome because reloading RPG actually takes quite a while. And I love that fact that, you know, choppers flying by, quick take a poke with my RPG and miss. And as I'm going to reload, some guy decides he's going to bail out and lay down in front of me. Okay, switch to my primary, take him out, go back to my RPG, and what do you know, it takes over reloading from where I left off when I switched from it to my primary. I love that new feature. I'm so glad they made it, and I really hope it stays there for the final release. Honestly, I don't see why it would change, and I hope it doesn't, so fingers crossed. Some of the infantry mechanics that have changed that I like, or things that they've added, is like the lean and peek. And I know I just did a video on this, but as I'm getting more used to it, and it's actually a good thing starting to make me slow down, because everyone knows I'm a run and gun player, but knowing the mechanics in there and people are using it, I need to slow down and take advantage of it as well, because if I don't, I'm just going to get wrecked all the time. So it's still a little difficult to get used to, and like some people said, it tends to work when you don't want it to, and it tends to not work when you need it to. But it's like, it's a here and there thing. It doesn't happen that often. I'm like, this is a broken mechanic. So it just takes a little time to get used to, but for the most part, I'm starting to enjoy it now that I've had a little bit more time with it. One of the other things that I really liked that they changed was diving while swimming. I know it seems kind of like a so-so thing, but it's really nice, especially with a game like Obliteration. Some people would drop the bomb out in the water, and then it was nice to be able to avoid people. They always knew where you were. If you picked up the bomb, that thing was always telling you where you were. But it was nice to, you know, just kind of try and evade them because they couldn't see you. It was a lot harder for them to put shots on you, even though you always showed up on the radar. But anyway, it's a nice feature. I'm glad they did it. The game sounds different, but I think that's better. I really, really, really like the game sounds. I thought that they were phenomenal in Battlefield 3, but I think they're even better in Battlefield 4. So, 2 thumbs up there. The flight mechanics of choppers is, well, on the attack choppers, I feel like they're the same. I don't feel like there's a whole lot that's been changed. Some people were talking about that it was a lot more difficult to fly in Battlefield 4, and I really don't think so until it comes to the transport chopper. there's a lot less finesse in that transport chopper than there was in Battlefield 4. When that thing gets into than it was in Battlefield 3. In Battlefield 4, when that transport chopper gets into a dive, good fucking luck trying to recover that. Nah, the other thing that was in there was the stacked perk systems. I'm not going to get into it too much because I actually want to save that for a specific video just to cover that alone. But my main point was I'm not really a fan, and I don't say that meaning I hate it. It's just that I don't really like it. I like the old version best because I could always pick exactly what perk I wanted to use for very specific situations or scenarios, and I can't do that now. Aside from that, the game just looks awesome. It looks a lot better than Battlefield 3. And that's what it really comes down to. It looks amazing. Even for the beta, I think that they at least had optimized how the game was supposed to look, even though it didn't play perfect, but hey, it's a beta. While I did get bored with the Siege of Shanghai rather quickly, I was very, very impressed with the level of detail. Like, getting up on top of the C flag on the tallest skyscraper on there, I was amazed just, spinning in circles looking all the way around, the level of detail and just how freaking amazing it looked. Fantastic. I actually hated when people brought that skyscraper down, though, because it ruined the look of everything. Made it look bland as shit because of all the dust that was flying around everywhere. But that's going to wrap it up for my thoughts and opinions. This is pretty quick. Just a few things I wanted to bring about from my overall view. If I had to give it a grading from what I expected the game coming out of it... Well, sorry, no, back up. My rating of the beta itself, I will actually give it a B+. While there were some issues, they got out a couple of patches while I happened to be on vacation. But what it played like when I left on like October 4th to what it played like when I got back on October 12th was completely different. And it was an entirely different and much, much better experience when I got back than from when I left. Better frames per second, almost no crashing issues. I was very, very pleased. Now that we're a few days removed from the beta ending and you guys have had some time to digest and rethink what you played, what are your thoughts on the beta? What would you give it for an overall score? Is it changing your mind on what you're going to do? Are you still going to buy the game? Or did you change your pre-orders? Did you add a pre-order? What'd you guys do? I want to know everything about your thoughts on the beta and the impression it left on you when it was all said and done. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you guys later. For those that are fans of the Battlefield Friends show, as well as other shows by Hank and Jed and Johnny Ethko, you should head on over to their store and check out all of the awesome merchandise they have to offer. Hell, you can even have the Noobin gang sing Happy Birthday to a Friend. It's all in the store, so head on over to take a look, or someone's going to throw ammo at your face.